Hey, this is today's vlog is discussing the idea of parenting adult children. Many of us are probably at a stage in life where we've gone already a while ago through the empty nest syndrome. We probably went through the what the stage of life when we suddenly realized that our kids are like 40 years old plus, and we're like, well, I'm only still 27, so except for the body, of course. So how do I have 40-year-old kids? And then we might even gotten to the point in time where hopefully we might even be grandparents. Some of us are great grandparents. But the real focus today is how do we relate to our children, specifically our children, who are now themselves fully grown adults. I mean, it's a little bit different than we might have been used to when we grew up. I mean, I grew up at a time where I was out of the house by 18 and never looked back. But now we know stories of kids who are 30, 40, not even kids, I mean children of parents who are 30, 40 years old, some of whom have to even, because of life difficult situations, wind up moving back into their parents' homes. In fact, there's some cultures where they don't move out. It's actually some beautiful cultures in Asia where the children get married and the family house and home expands, and the collective income is shared among everybody, and the distribution of labor actually frees up a lot of time for the wives as well, because there's several women helping with a lot of the children and grandchildren. But for most of us, we don't live in that situation. We live in a situation where kind of maybe it's just you and your wife at this point, and the children and the grandchildren come and they visit and then they leave. But how do you relate to those children per se? I know for myself, when I had kids, the first reaction to having children was kind of like I wanted to take out my cookie cutter and I wanted to really shape my kids, and I was going to provide them with the education, and I was going to do all the things that I felt was the really best thing for them. And then I realized, as you probably have realized also, that's like taking one of those toy airplanes, if you remember them, where you put the little propeller and had the little rubber band and you had to adjust the wings, and finally it was ready and you threw it and it goes vroom, completely off in a different direction. Well, that's children. You give them everything you think that they really need to have. You build them and prepare them and you set them flying, and the next thing you know, they're like over there and one of them's over there. It's like, whoa, how'd those kids get there? But then you realize, hopefully you realize, that your children, it's true, while they are an extension of you and a reflection of you, they're their own people. They have their destiny and they have their lives. And the most that you can really do is participate by participating in who they are, rather than really thinking about who we want them to be. And once we, if you will call it, allow ourselves to give our children the freedom to be who they are, I found for myself everything changed. I found for myself with my own children, especially when they were married, starting to have kids, they suddenly realized, oh my gosh, now I realize what dad went through because I'm going through it. And so suddenly the relationship with my children became much better, because now we had things in common, and therefore they were trying to learn the tricks of the trade. Hopefully that would be something that would be able to give them the tools that they really would need to be able to deal with their own situation. So that's something to think about, is really that transition of seeing your child as his own or her own independent adult, appreciating them for what they've chosen to be and what they've become, and enjoying that and allowing them to really be that which you gave them and that which they chose for themselves.